Is Cal Kestis actually stronger than Luke Skywalker? It's the kind of question that sparks instant debate among Star Wars fans. One is the last hope of the Jedi Order in a crumbling galaxy, the other a scrappy survivor forged in the darkest days of the Empire. But when it comes to raw power, combat skills, and connection to the Force, who really takes the throne? Let's dive deep into lore, feats, and facts and see who wins in the head-to-head Jedi showdown. Let's start with the origins. Cal Kestis was just a Padawan when Order 66 shattered the Jedi Order. Hunted, traumatized, and forced into hiding, his journey is one of survival and rebuilding. What's wild, Cal trained himself post Order 66. No master, no council, just sheer grit, memory, and instincts. By the time we see him in Jedi Survivor, he's practically a Jedi Knight forged by fire. Luke Skywalker, on the other hand, begins his journey much later. His formal Jedi training starts under Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Yoda, but it's brief and incomplete. What Luke lacks in traditional training, he makes up for in raw Force potential. Let's not forget, he is the son of Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one, and that gives him insane potential. So in verdict, Cal has more traditional training and battlefield experience, but Luke's lineage and natural affinity for the Force can't be overlooked. Now let's talk lightsabers. Cal Kestis is a monster in close combat. He fights Inquisitors, bounty hunters, Jedi killing droids, and literal Sith lords like Darth Vader, and survives. By Jedi Survivor, Cal is a master of multiple lightsaber forms: single blade, dual wield, double blade, and even crossguard. He is adaptive, tactical, and brutal. Luke Skywalker, by contrast, is more of a classical duelist. His most notable lightsaber feats come in Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian Season 2. He defeats Vader, but here's the kicker: Vader was emotionally conflicted and holding back. Luke has style, but fewer forms and less variety. So in verdict, in terms of versatility and technique, Cal Kestis has the edge. Luke's dueling skills are great, but not as refined or diverse. Now here's where things get spicy and interesting. Cal Kestis can slow time, force slow, use force pull, push, Jedi mind tricks, and force lift with finesse. But what sets him apart? Psychometry, the ability to read memories and emotions from objects. That's incredibly rare and gives him a deep insight into people, places, and events. He is also able to temporarily dominate enemies' minds and tame massive beasts like the Rancor. But Luke Skywalker, his potential is off the charts. Expanded universe and canon shows that Luke can use force projections across galaxies, lift massive objects, and even deflect blaster bolts with sheer force energy. In Legends, he becomes a near god-tier Jedi Grandmaster who casually moves black holes and defeats armies solo. In verdict, Cal is impressive and has a more practical, in-the-field force mastery. But Luke's raw potential and high-level feats, especially in Legends, put him way ahead. Who they fight says a lot about how strong they are. Cal Kestis fights Night Sister, Trilla Suduri, Dagangera, Revis, Bod Akuna, and even gets into it with Darth Vader and survives. He is constantly being hunted by elite force users and somehow manages to beat or escape them all. Plus, the Inquisitors are literal Jedi hunters. These are not pushovers. Luke's enemies: Darth Vader, Palpatine, the Empire, Kylo Ren. In canon, his fights are fewer but more symbolic. In Legends, he goes up against beings like Abelot, resurrected Palpatine clones, and Sith Lords who make Vader look tame. So in verdict, Cal has more quantity of fights and some nail-biting close calls, but Luke's opponents are on a cosmic scale in power, especially in Legends. Here's a Jedi strength people sleep on, resisting the dark side. Cal is tempted multiple times. He's angry, he's lost everything. In Jedi Survivor, we even see him use dark side powers out of desperation. But what's powerful is that he comes back from that. He doesn't fall despite all the reasons to. Luke faces temptations from Vader, the Empire, the Emperor, and later from his own doubts and failures. He famously throws away his lightsaber instead of killing Vader. That's peak Jedi right there. But in Last Jedi, he shows us that he did briefly consider killing Ben Solo out of fear, and that moment haunts him. So in verdict, both walk the line. Cal dances closer to the edge, but Luke embodies Jedi ideals more consistently, especially in his youth. So is Cal Kestis actually stronger than Luke Skywalker? If you are talking canon Luke from the original trilogy, then yes, Cal might have the edge in lightsaber technique, battle-hardened instinct, and force versatility. Cal feels like a Jedi you could drop into any war zone and he would walk out alive. But if you're talking about Luke as a whole, especially including his expanded legacy in the Legends or the Mandalorian era, then no. Luke Skywalker is still the strongest Jedi of his generation, maybe ever. Cal is a warrior, Luke is a legend, but don't get it twisted, in a straight up fight, Cal wouldn't go down easy. So what do you think? Could Cal Kestis ever defeat Luke in a duel, or does Skywalker's power put him on another level entirely? Let me know in the comments, smash that like button if you love Star Wars, and subscribe for more deep dive lore content. May the Force be with you. Bye bye.